Hello, we're going live today to bring you the press conference for an update on Lily Peters. We'll go ahead and get right on into it.
Just go ahead and there we go.
Chippewa Falls Police Department, and I'm providing an update on the homicide investigation. I first want to express my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Lily Peters. I will be able to answer a few questions at the end of this briefing, but please bear in mind that we are very early in this investigation, and I am limited in what information I can provide so as not to compromise the investigation. 263-5906. And again, that number is 1-800-263-5906. Our investigators are following up with leads and tips actively. The people of our community are honest, hardworking, and kind-hearted. It is almost impossible to believe that something this horrific could happen in our city, and an event like this threatens our sense of security. However, I believe we will come together as a community to overcome this fear. A number of resources are being utilized in the search for answers in this tragic case. We currently have representatives from the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigations, the Wisconsin State Crime Lab, as well as many local law enforcement agencies assisting in this investigation who are working tirelessly to uncover the truth. We also have victim advocates who are working with the family. I would ask in closing that if anyone has any information about this case, that they please reach out to that tip line. And again, that's at 1-800-263-5906. There's a few questions. I will try to answer some of them.
Chief Calhoun, reporting out for you with Fox 9. You said you want people to remain vigilant. The school district even came out and said, parents, if you can, pick up your kids, don't let them walk or bike. It sounds to me like you think this person could still be around, that people may be in danger. Can you just expand on that?
Well, the simple fact is that we have not made an arrest in this case. So the suspect is still at large. So in that case, we just want to be extra vigilant and make sure that if there are any tips, anyone has any information, to go ahead and call that tip line. We have a lot of investigators that are working on those all the time.
Could you talk about a timeline possibly? We saw the release that 9 o'clock is when a family member called, but could you please just describe when she was last seen, when she left her aunt's home, help folks know what they should be looking for, as a certain time for the end?
Sure. I can appreciate asking that question, and those are things that everyone wants to know about. But timelines and things like that are really things that are speaking about this active investigation, and I can't really go into those right now.
How quickly were you able to determine that this was a homicide investigation?
Once we located the deceased, at that point, it transitioned from a missing person into what we believe to be a homicide investigation.
Evidence at the scene.
That was at the point that we made the decision to transition that. So I can't speak as to what the evidence is or specifics as to that decision making, but why we went to that decision. But that was at that time.
Is that a route that she would have taken home then from her aunt's house to her home?
And again, those are things that our investigators are still looking into, conducting interviews and things of that nature. So I don't have any more information on that, unfortunately, right now.
At this point, we're not saying cause of death. We're not saying how or were there obvious signs of what caused the death?
At this point, no, we're not saying that. We're only a day into the investigation. This is a major incident, and we want to make sure we do it correctly, properly. And at this point, we don't have that information to give out.
Is there any indication as to whether the suspect knew Lily? There was any prior knowledge of who she was?
Right. At this point, we really can't say because, again, we're developing that information right now. Our investigators are following up on leads, and I don't really have anything to give out on that particular case.
Scary for this community, for parents especially. What can you say to parents in Chippewa Falls tonight?
What I would say to parents in Chippewa Falls is that Chippewa Falls is a safe community. This is a very rare occurrence. However, we have to be cognizant to the fact that it will require some additional vigilance here today. So I guess that's what I would say at this point.
But you told the community that there could be a danger out there and be vigilant, right? What do they need to be vigilant for? What should they be looking for? What are the things that should concern them?
That's a good question. Anything that's suspicious, things that are suspicious, based on some of the information maybe we've already given out. If they think something might be relevant to this case, they should really call that tip number. So I'll take one more question.
Chief, Lenny Poole said that they're cooperating with your investigation. Can you tell us anything about surveillance video or anything that's available from the property?
Our investigators are following up on all leads, and Lenny Kugels has been helpful in providing us a location to stage, and we're looking into those areas as well. So, okay, thank you very much.
When's the next press?
Well, his conferences are always short and to the point, which is good, because at least we don't have, endless questions that he has to repeat over and over and over again.
And I'll go to what.
Right. Well, and with them they're still building a case. Of course, she was murdered.
course.
So
Of
they're
course.
probably keeping all that quiet. Terrifying for
Yeah.
that community, though. My prayers definitely go out to that community.
Yes.
I can imagine.
I mean, it's just such a scary situation. Wisconsin just had the child death with Oliver Hitchcock and now Lily. Both of their favorite colors were purple. And so I try to think that maybe Oliver was the one to welcome her when she got to heaven. It's just so sad. You never.
It's very sad. And the thing is that these babies don't have to die for nothing,
Right.
There
right.
has
Their
to be
lives,
a better way. There wasn't even an Amber Alert issued in this case.
Yeah, or even an endangered, just
Nothing.
an endangered alert could have been more helpful. Yes, could it have changed the outcome? Yes. Would it have changed if she was abducted or whatever happened? That's still to be told. But with, the community could have been out searching last night, and maybe they would have reached her in time.
Correct. When you go and you look at the Amber Alert requirements, one of them that catches my eyes is that there has to be enough descriptive information about the victim and the abduction for law enforcement to issue an Amber Alert. And I wonder if that's not something that they get hung up on in these, situations.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. It leaves me baffled every case that I see that ends up like this. And change has to happen.
It does. It makes me wonder if there's something that the communities can do. Obviously the Amber Alert system is outdated. There was Lily, basically the same thing happened to her that happened to the Amber. And we didn't know Amber Alert. We didn't hear anything about it, until we wake up this morning, and was probably too late at that point, obviously.
Yeah.
So there has to be something that communities can do. I don't know if it's going to be the way of an app or something. I'm sure technology will have to come into play. I wish I had the know-how, but something has to change.
Yeah, something definitely has to change. And with the technology the way that it is today, I mean, we're in 2022. The AI that is out there is crazy. The artificial intelligence that is just even out there for creators.
Mm-hmm.
It's, when I've been doing some research on how to edit better or, ways that I can change my settings to make things sound better. Technology is to the extent that we should not be sitting that nobody should not know that a child is missing in their town.
Right.
That's my biggest thing
right.
is, even with Harmony Montgomery, there's still people in Manchester that don't know that she's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And if we did something, an app, a website, a petition for law enforcement, for the state law enforcement to develop a system that starts like a mushroom cloud for every single missing child. And I don't want to hear about, oh, this person is a runaway, or we're going to mark this as a runaway, or they're an addict. They're not going to, they just ran, they took off. They don't, there's no sign of foul play. Even when there's signs of foul play, they still don't take things seriously. Look at the case of Nikki Rule. There's definitely foul play there, and he could be injured, and yet law enforcement is just dragging their feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still haven't seen anything as far as come from law enforcement on Nikki. I see Arctic Fox is in chat. Have you heard any updates from the grandparents on him? Because I know you were in direct contact with them.
Let's see. He says that there's a Jonesboro, Arkansas missing child since 10 p.m. last night. And then JB, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick.
Okay.
You have to add it to the stream.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How's that? Oh,
So
wow. Yeah.
this 2-month-old, 2 months, this newborn has been missing. And yet we're just now hearing about it. So if you are in Florida, or if you know anybody in Florida, please share this. I will go ahead and put the link. Oh, I will put the link in private chat. I don't have the YouTube screen up to put it in comments, so you'll have to grab it from there.
Yeah. Thank you for putting it in there for me.
Of course. But just on this one, so they issued a missing child alert for Florida out of Fort Pierce. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, 2-month-old Azan Lisby was last seen in the area of the 1700 block of North 12th Street, missing since February 16th. It's April 25th, and we're just now hearing about it.
That's ridiculous. A whole newborn baby, and we're just now hearing about
it. Exactly. The baby is described as 2 feet tall, weighing 10 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. A photo hasn't been released. Robert Lisby is black male, 5 feet 10, 220 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Joy Tyler, black female, 5'8", 180 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Robert may have a tattoo on his right forearm. They might be traveling in a 2017 Dodge Durango with a Florida license plate of P as in Paul, E as in Edward, T as in Tom, C as in Cat, 97. If you have any information on their whereabouts, please contact the Fort Pierce Police Department, 772-465-5770 or 911. This is the picture that was released for them. Oh, there will. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so anybody in the Chippewa Falls area, it looks like at the Vineyard Church, there's going to be a candlelight vigil for Lily tonight. Yeah, and that's really good to hear. Thank you for letting us know that. Hello, Sue. It's good to see you in here.
Hi, Sue. Good to see you in here too. And I'm so glad to see UG Wisconsin girl back, or WI girl. I'm assuming that's Wisconsin. And let's see, there was another one that was, stitching, bitching, and true crime.
Isn't it
thank
fun
you
to
guys
say?
I love it. Thank you guys for coming back. That is wonderful. True Crime and Coffee is an amazing advocate for the missing, and I do a lot of coverage on my channel for crimes against children and crimes against humanity. So I like to spotlight creators that are dedicated advocates to the missing. Arctic Fox True Crime is one. Chapters of Crime is another incredible advocate for victims. And so
Miss Avery, that
that's,
was a beautiful prayer earlier. You got me, girl. I didn't think I was going to be able to swallow it down to go on live and speak today.
yeah, that was hard. That was definitely a tough one.
Mhm.
But yes,
Um,
thank you for saying that.
and Arctic, if you're still in chat, I'd seen where there was 2 missing. I think you said there were 16. Do you have their names? We'll go ahead and mention them while we have people in here. Or do you have them over on your channel? Maybe a link I can share?
Let me go to his channel real quick, and then we can play the video. Whoops.
Oh, he does have a video up? Good.
He might. If he has a video, if he doesn't have a video, yep, he has a video.
Awesome.
All right, there we go. Hide. Play.
Hello, True Crime family. This is Arctic Fox, True Crime. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are covering the missing persons case of Gary Fields and James Williams. They have been reported missing from a DHS facility in Jonesboro, Arkansas. They went missing around 10:30 p.m. on the 24th of April, 2022. According to the Department of Human Services Division of Youth Services, the 2 teenagers left the facility in Jonesboro without authorization Sunday evening, April the 24th. Now, police have been notified and they are looking for the teenagers. Gary Fields, age 16, has brown hair and hazel eyes, weighs 120 pounds, and stands at 5 foot 1 inches tall. He has been in DYS custody on charges of rape and theft of property. James Williams, age 16, has brown hair and hazel eyes and weighs 174 pounds. He stands at 6 feet tall and he's been in DYS custody on charges including second degree sexual assault, aggravated assault on a family or household member, and breaking and entering. Williams and Fields were reported missing from Consolidated Youth Services in Jonesboro around 10:30 p.m. The center provides services for youth committed to DYS custody. Anyone that has information on the location of either one of these 2 youth, either Williams or Fields, you need to call 911 immediately. Once again, we've got children that have gone missing from a youth facility. This time it's under the supervision of Arkansas's version of CPS or DCFS. It's called DHS here in Arkansas. And these are 2 young men that we know aren't afraid to take on violent behavior to get what they want or need. They both have issues with sexual assault. One of them has issues with aggravated assault on their own family member. And these children may be in trouble themselves. At any rate, we can only hope that the police take this case more seriously than they do so many that are out there, because it seems to me that whenever it's a troubled youth that goes missing, they don't really put a lot of effort into finding them. But given their criminal past, hopefully they will put forth more effort in this case. Again, James Williams is 16 with brown hair and hazel eyes, weighing 174 pounds and standing at 6 feet tall. And his partner in crime, Gary Fields, has brown hair and hazel eyes, weighs 120 pounds, and stands at 5 foot 1 inches tall. Guys, it's very important that we find these 2, not only for their safety, but for the safety of the community there in Jonesboro. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just go ahead and give the video a like. It does help the YouTube algorithm and helps to get their faces to the top of YouTube. Also, if you would, click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you're always alerted whenever I update another missing persons case. And most important of all, just click that share button. Share this on your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever you have social media. It's important that we get Gary and James' faces out there so that, we can bring them home. We can put them back in the youth shelter where they're supposed to be, where they should have been supervised well enough not to go missing in the first place. As always, guys, I do want to thank you so much for watching. I really couldn't do.
What is it with DHS facilities or, just troubled youth facilities in general that are failing these kids? We have the Simji Morrison case in Philadelphia. Many teenagers. I mean, I was finding a slew of them. No, I don't know if they all had the Forget Me Not Youth Services in common. That's something that I'm still looking into. But Mountain Girl 212 has been covering Simji's case.
Yeah, I ask for updates all the time and there's still no updates. It's like they've literally done nothing. I think they had one picture that was maybe new they put out, and that
Yeah.
was it.
That was it. That was it. Well, I sub to UG Wisconsin Gal, and I sub to Stitchin', Bitchin', and True Crime. So their links are in the chat. Please give them a follow. Make sure that you go over and share Arctic Fox's video. I will go ahead and give you the link now.
Thank you. That's the one that I didn't. And that's to the video we just played, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, this is the link so you can go over, and also make sure you're subscribed to Arctic because he puts out a lot of content, a lot of missing faces all the time. So it's really important that you're subbed to his channel.
Yes, he is one of the best in the community. I
Yes.
absolutely love his approach, and I will always have a heart for the missing. And but now that I see that, we've got some really good creators that are getting some amazing content out there, it leaves me, it kind of gives me that sense of relief of, okay, somebody's getting a video out. Or when I see larger creators pick up, like for instance, when Chasing picked up Nikki's case, and that made my day, because that's one of my biggest things is if I make a video on a missing, it's just because I want a larger creator to pick it up and make a video for their channel. If I can get all the information into one video and help the advocates for the missing, then that's what I'm here to do.
Right.
And yeah.
And I've noticed that you cover a lot of crimes against children and things, so that's
Yes.
important as well. And I think I look in true crime and I can see in this community, I'm kind of new to the new YouTube, figuring it out and how the communities work and things. And within true crime, everybody's sectioned off: missing, crimes against children, wrongful convictions. And really what we all need to be doing is intermingling and mixing and networking with each other, because I think that's where the change is going to take place if we want it to start from this community. We have to stop being so tucked into our own little corners and not talking to everybody else, or you know what I mean? Getting in the little cliques and not sharing with each other. I mean, that's the biggest issue I've seen from the outside looking in.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hop off because I have got to start preparing for the live at 7.
You go live at 7, Craig. Do you have a link for that?
I can get it for you. Hang on a second.
Okay. Honestly, I'm just afraid to click off because for the first time I haven't booted myself off of StreamYard, so I'm trying to see if I can do a whole live. I'll put the link for Darkness is Live coming up here in about 35 minutes in chat. And you all know to get over to Arctics for any information on the missing or any updates on the boys, the 16-year-old boys that are missing. Chapters
Oh,
of Crime. I think she'll
that's
be going live later tonight. Is that correct?
she'll be with me.
She'll be with you. Okay.
And
All right.
I gave you the wrong link. That's the correct link for the live.
Okay.
And this live will be I'm going to go ahead and say it now. This is going to be a very heavy trigger warning live. If you are not familiar with Samaje, she was a 17-month-old baby girl who was reported missing. 30 hours after she was reported missing, she was found in the underbelly of the sofa that was in the home. Not even a full day later, not even a full day after her funeral, the house burned down. There had been 80 calls of law enforcement service in a matter of 2 years. The family has a history of 41 times of being involved with DCFS. The living conditions were atrocious. I don't understand why they had custody to begin with. And Avery spoke to the fire marshal today, and they confirmed that it was definitely arson. But this baby still has no justice. No arrests have been made. No suspects have been named. And all that the family is doing is just pointing fingers at each other. It's a very, very tragic story, but it's one that needs more attention. She's back in the news because the father sued GCFS and was awarded a $6.5 million settlement. But that's not justice.
No, it's one that'll get your blood boiling. I don't understand how you
Yes.
can have arson and
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Somebody has to be held accountable.
Yes, absolutely. So that is one that really gets me. And so I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us.
And I will see you guys later.
Absolutely. See you in about 30 minutes.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, I dropped a link for StreamYard in the chat. If any of you have anything you'd like to just say in regards to justice for Lily or any of the cases that we've been talking about, or if you all know of some missing cases that's not getting any attention, we can go ahead and throw them out now. Earlier, I dropped a link for Arctic Fox True Crime. You can go over there and always find a lot of updates and a lot of new missing posters that you probably haven't seen before, as he's kind of like me and tries to find ones to cover that aren't the most popular at the moment, the ones that aren't getting any attention. And that's why I hold a high respect for him, of course. Single Mama 4, it's so good to see you in chat. I don't know if I had a chance to mention it earlier. Let's see who else. Avery, you had me fangirling a little when I seen you show up. Sue, you're a new face, but I'm glad to see you here. Hope we see you back again. And UG Wisconsin gal, I was glad to see you back in here, and I always appreciate you giving us information on what's going on locally and what you see from a local's point of view. My email is in the about section. It should be ty.2.die.422@gmail.com. You can email me there if you see anything going on in the community or you have any updates on the petition that you was speaking about that might be something that's going on there. I'd like to know any changes that may be taking place. The But if nobody has anything else to bring up, I'm going to go ahead and end this and go get me some coffee made before Darkness Exposed and Chapters of Crime starts on their case over there. And they've already gave you all a trigger warning. It's a hard case. I seen a picture of the baby earlier with a hernia bigger than she was, just about it. It's a lot, guys, but it's important for us all to go over there and watch and have awareness and share out this information. And if any updates come through on Lily's case, I'll go live, or I'm sure someone else will, but we'll get the information shared out. Guys, take care of yourselves this afternoon. Thank you all for coming. And if you're rewatching, we appreciate you rewatching as well. Have a wonderful afternoon, guys. Bye.